Brought to you by Lacrosse Extras, it's time for another episode of The Player and the Journalist, hosted by Carson Harris and David Vick. Carson is a former All-American at Drexel, the program's all-time leading goal scorer, and the CAA's leader in draw controls. I'm a journalist covering women's lacrosse since 2019 and the founder of Lacrosse Extras. In this episode, a Gator has escaped Gainesville and made her way to the show. You may know her by the number 19 or the earth-shaking stick slams after she scores. She is Maggi Hall. Maggie, can I get a go dogs?
Absolutely not.
Hey, I'm from Georgia. You know, I'm a big UGA fan, so I just had to ask. I've tried that before. I want to say it was Lindsay Ronbeck I asked that to before, and she also shut me down. So
Makes sense. Yeah, no, we're not Georgia fans over here.
That's totally fair. How are you doing with the Final Four just days away?
Oh my gosh, I am great. I am very excited. First Final Four. My sister Gabby has been to many, and she tells me, you know, how fun it is and everything, and I'm just so excited.
Very cool. Hey, I don't know if many people know this, if they're just casuals, but y'all have won 20 games in a row, which we will get to later, so I won't spoil it. But if I had to say, I would say that Florida is the hottest team in America right now. I don't know if you agree with that, Carson.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I would say that too.
Awesome. So let's see. So we'll just get right into it. Where does your love for the game of lacrosse come from? And the reason I came up with that question is because whenever I watch you play, which has been a lot the past 2 years specifically,
Yeah.
you are very passionate when you're on the field. It's very noticeable. And I'm not saying that other people don't love the game, but it's just very noticeable with you. And as we mentioned, the stick slams are pretty incredible. So where does your love for the game come from?
Yeah, no, I appreciate you noticing that because I definitely do love the game. But yeah, no, I would say that my love for the game kind of started around when I was really, really young. I started when I was 4. Obviously, you don't really love the game when you first start out because you're not good at it. But once I kind of started realizing that I was pretty good at this, my mom was my coach, which didn't always necessarily make it fun because she was a lot harder on me than anyone else. But, you know, she challenged me and she challenged my sister, who she also coached. And she ran the teams that we were on and everything like that. And I just know that when I wasn't playing, I was always watching. I was always watching my sister's games. I was watching other games. And, you know, I also loved college lacrosse when I was younger. Like, just thinking about being on that stage and, you know, they inspired me to work on my game and like add certain things. And it's kind of ironic because now she's my coach, but Nicole Levy was one of those players that I looked up to really like a lot when I was younger, even though she's not that much older than me. But just like when I was starting out in high school or like 8th grade, when she was starting in her Syracuse days, you know, she was just so amazing. And just watching them and trying to incorporate some of the stuff that those girls were doing kind of made me love the game more. And yeah, I would just say like Skywalker's also is my club team, and they just made it fun. And I think having fun with it is the most important part, which is what I have been trying to do these last 2 years is, you know, have fun with it because, you know, I didn't get drafted to go pro. This is my last year. These are my last 1-2 games possible, you know, and I wanted to have the most fun and get the most out of it that I could.
Very cool. And I would say you've gotten a lot out of it because not many people expected Florida to go to the Final Four this year. And whoop-de-doo, here you are. So
I know, yeah, we have been underdogs all year. We were unranked or ranked pretty low in our opinion all year long. And I think that we've been proving people wrong all year. And just coming into the tournament with that low or no seed at all, you know, I think that really boosts our you know, drive and like almost like anger and wanting to just prove everyone wrong. And like we knew we were good, so taking that all the way, hopefully.
Very cool. Hey, obviously you'd rather be at home, but it's pretty cool that you got to go to Klockner Stadium, which is a pretty historic venue. You got a win there against an ACC team. You went to Maryland's new field, arena, whatever you want to call it. I hate the turf, just saying. And you got the win there. So those are two really big wins and on the road, and you got a lot of confidence. So props
I know.
to you.
Yeah. It was awesome.
For sure.
I was just laughing at, like, it's such an athlete answer to be like, well, I loved it when I was good at it. Oh, when did I say I love it? Oh, when I figured out that I was good at it. That's when I loved it. Like, that's just the way you answered, like, very from the beginning. I was like, she plays sports and she's good at them, because that is exactly how you would answer if you were good at sports. Like, of course I loved it. I was good at it. But anyway, I thought that was funny. Like, right out of the gate, I was like, yep, there it is. There's the competitor. There's, like, competition. But
we
anyway,
respect the honesty.
not that you can't love it being not good at it, but it's much easier when you're good at it. Anyway, just thought that was funny. But yes, congratulations on being in the Final Four.
Thank you.
I think that you guys totally deserve to be there. Yeah, I didn't realize that you guys were on this, like, 20-game streak that we'll talk about earlier. I had no idea until very recently that was, like, what you guys, because I just feel like, yeah, you guys haven't gotten any credit, like, from the gods above about all of that stuff. So I feel like congratulations on it, and I'm rooting for you guys. I feel like it's time for a switch up in our national championship.
I agree.
So,
but yeah, no, I think that we weren't getting as much credit because, I mean, I will be honest, like, we don't have the toughest schedule in the NCAA. You know, we have those first 2 or 3 really hard games in the beginning, and then we kind of go on this stretch of not so entertaining games for the fans to watch. But I just think that the way that we were blowing out teams could have gotten some recognition and, you know, appreciation, I guess. But no, I understand our rankings and everything, but it definitely, I didn't realize that we were on that 20-game streak either.
yeah. And I feel like it's hard because, like, your first games of the season, not that they don't matter, but, like, it's always a different team than what you see at the end of the season, like, from both ways. Like, you know, I just think that that's such, to, like, continue to hold those against you is so hard, because those are, like, you don't even look like the same team by the end of the season. So it's like, if you were to play those games again, they'd be very different, probably.
No,
so
100%, we do not look the same.
Also, if I can just jump in real quick, they should have gotten respect after they made JMU's defense quit twice, just saying. So
yeah. Yeah.
Which Maggi Hall was a part of that massacre. Okay.
I try.
Kind of like going back to you, like, growing up and watching lacrosse, and you said Nicole Levy was, like, one of your idols. Like, I think a lot of people growing up focus on, like, the goals, and I've said this a lot on this podcast because, like, it's so important to me that, like, girls growing up, they watch all these people score goals, and all the people that score goals are always, like, just, like, all so cool, right? And everyone's like, I want to be Charlotte North, blah 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 blah. But, like, I think that, like, you have so many assists, like, that. I think that that's really unique and something that I wanted to highlight on the show, because, like, for all the little girls listening, like, that also gets you street cred, and that also means a lot to a team to be that good at something that's, like, not necessarily, not that you don't score goals, but I just mean that, like, it's something else to focus on, because I think that gets passed over a lot. So I think, like, for the little girls listening, if you could just to talk about, like, the importance of the assists as well, and, like, how that can affect a team and make an impact.
No, yeah, definitely. I think that assisting is probably one of my favorites, if not my favorite thing to do. Just, it's so important to the game because, you know, yeah, everyone, especially at this level, basically everyone can take someone 1v1 unless it's like an all-American defender, you know? Most of the time, 9 times out of 10, you can beat your defender 1v1, but there's just something about moving the ball, making sure that everyone touches it, and finding that one more, that 100% open look, that is so important to the game, and that's how you win, is because finding that one more person just to dunk it in on the goalie. Like, the goalie's looking at the ball, and then when you quick stick it in off a cutter, you know, that is just, it's such a more, it's an easier goal, and it's just, I just think it's really important to kind of move the ball, and I think that that was kind of implanted in my head from Skywalkers, because they're always, you know, they were always yelling at you, one more, like, move the ball. And I think that growing up with that mindset, it kind of helped me, you know, succeed in my college career with how many assists I have. And, you know, I love being able to help another one of my teammates, which is also why I think that our team is so dynamic, is because so many of us can do so many different things. And I'm pretty sure statistically we're number 1 in the country or number 2 in the country for assisting. And I think that says a lot about also the fact that we're number 1 in scoring, because we're moving the ball so much and not just one person is scoring. So there's not just one person to lock off, like, okay, don't get her the ball because she's just going to take you 1v1. It creates a whole different dynamic on a team when you can score but also assist your teammates.
Yeah, I agree. I think that like one more look, I'm not sure I ever really got that until I got to college, to be honest. That like hit it like low and then in the middle, or like, like that look. I don't think I really learned that.
That's how they do it at Skywalkers.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder. I mean, I was also a couple years earlier. Lacrosse was. I feel like it's really taken off in the last like I barely put it in my left hand during my club team days. Like that was. Anyway, could you talk a little bit about how like assists have helped you make your mark on the Florida program, or you can really just talk about in general, like how you felt like you've made your mark on the Florida program?
I mean, coming in as a freshman, just before my college career, I really just knew that there wasn't really an opportunity for you to go pro. So I just wanted to do everything I could to like make my mark on Florida. And I feel like about to graduate, I have. And I think that my mark is kind of at least something that I feel like my younger teammates have told me recently, is that I have kind of created that energy and that kind of positivity that forms from the team. And that really, honestly, it makes me really happy that I could have created that environment, because I feel like maybe when I came in, it was COVID and everything, but it was just very like, we're doing this, like we're serious, we're like all this stuff. And it was just like, it wasn't fun my first year and maybe even my second. But I feel like as I tried to have fun with it myself, then I created this environment around me that was fun. And I think that a lot of people started buying into that this year, and it's just made everyone have so much fun. And so when they tell me that, it makes me really happy. But I just really enjoy that I can create opportunities for my teammates, because it's not only me succeeding, which is what I love. I love that, after Pav scores, she immediately points to me, and that's like a great feeling. And knowing that I have friends for life is so cool. And I just am really happy that I could leave here with a positive impact. And just, if that's my energy, or if that's, assisting or scoring goals or having points, I don't care what it is. I just was glad that I could leave something positive for this program.
That's like the best compliment ever. Wow.
I know. The first time it was senior day that they told me that, and I like almost started crying. I was like,
God. Yeah, you're like too much.
And the emotions were high that day, and I was like, thank you.
Like, you couldn't have told me this at like a 6 a.m. practice and like the rain or something.
Yeah, no.
So I would just jump in. We've mentioned a lot about the assists. So you have 54 this season, which is a career high, and 127 in your career. So pretty impressive.
Thank you.
Very cool. Also, what are your, this wasn't one of the questions, but what are your thoughts on Gainesville? Because I've been to Gainesville once for actually a lacrosse game. It was Mercer. They had a fall ball game, and I loved Gainesville. I thought it was great. So even though I'm a Georgia fan, I thought Gainesville was great. So what are your thoughts on Gainesville?
I mean, personally, I love it. That was one of the reasons why I came here. Just, the environment of how everyone is so, it's a college town. There's not really much outside of the school. So everyone around it really loves the school and loves the programs, and they're super supportive of all the athletes and everything like that. So I think that just the environment itself, but also, the lakes are cool, and you're close to the beach, and like there's just so much stuff to do that you kind of don't get that bored. Yes, it's kind of hard to like actually do stuff when you're playing lacrosse and you're doing school and everything, but you try and do as much, and there's always like something you could do outside, which is what I like about it. But yeah, no, Gainesville's fun.
Very cool. Have you ever seen a gator like just crossing the street or anything?
Yeah, I was actually I mean, this wasn't recent. It was like 2 years ago, but I was eating dinner at Lake Alice with Liz Harrison. Emily Lortz was there, and then another one of our friends. But we were at Lake Alice eating dinner on like a picnic table, and a gator literally just walked right underneath of our table, and I was standing on top of it. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. It was really cool though.
Oh my goodness.
It wasn't
that's
that
crazy.
big. It was probably like I don't know, like 5-6 feet long, but it was like
That's
it was really
huge.
cool for it to be that close, and
That's
just
crazy.
like it was not scared. And then like a month later, it was like taken out because it was getting too close to people, so it was removed
Wow.
and like taken to a sanctuary. But yeah, no, that was really cool though. My dad loved that.
That, oh my gosh, I would have been so scared. Albino gators, those are some freaky things. Don't Google those. You'll have nightmares. Okay. Also, oh, sorry, go ahead, Carson.
Oh, I was just gonna say that when she said the gator got taken out, I was really sad. I thought that they'd killed him, and then you said he got. So I was like, oh my god, no! I was like, just let him go. Okay, I like had my heart dropped. I was like, oh my god, I got taken out. Like, what does that mean? I'm so glad you
Got taken
clarified. I was gonna be thinking about it for a really long time. So thank you for clarifying.
Oh yeah,
Sorry.
no, they captured it and they took it away, but they were just like they just released it because we have a bunch of places called there's one Sweetwater and there's a Lachua Trail that are like hundreds of gators. And every time not my mom, she really, really does not like that there are gators everywhere. But my dad is so interested in it, and every time that he comes down, we go to Sweetwater or Lachua Trail, and we go see all the gators. And there's some really, really big ones there, and they're really cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Also, two last things on Gainesville. One, you don't see a lot of these around the country, and as someone who likes McDonald's, okay, I love the old McDonald's with the arches. You know what I'm talking about? I love that one. It's so cool. It's like going back in time.
Yeah, I'm a big McDonald's eater, so I would totally agree.
Hey, that's the secret to the success. And then also, just real quick, the one game I was at there, at Disney's Ronald, I don't know just the Diz, okay?
The
yeah.
Diz.
So they only had orange and blue Gatorade for people to buy. I'm like, what is this? Where's the red? Okay, like go Dogs, please. Come on now. They had no other colors.
They have no other colors in any of the stadiums. We just sell blue and
Really?
orange. Yep.
That-
If you
hey,
go to football game or basketball game or anything, it's just blue and orange.
Very
That's
interesting.
awesome.
Yeah.
That is dedication.
But as athletes, we get all of them. Like in our fridge, it's we're stacked with every flavor, like Gator Lights, everything. But yeah, no, for the games, they only do blue and orange, which is I noticed that the first time that I visited, and I thought that was so funny.
Yeah, that's cool. Awesome. So getting back to the field, 20-game win streak, as we mentioned. During that 20-game win streak, the offense has scored 20 or more goals 9 times. And I know you mentioned the schedule might not be the most difficult in the country, but that is super impressive. And there were a few other games in there where you had 19, 18. So the offense has been insane. Okay. So can you explain why this year's Florida offense is so hard to stop?
Yeah, I think that we just have so many offensive threats. I mean, me, Ashley, and Pav have been working together for a very long time. Feels like a lot longer than it is. It was only 4 years, but I feel like I kind of know what they're going to do. So they're really easy to assist or be assisted from, like Ashley always knows where I am. I always know where Pav is. Like it kind of, that dynamic really works well together. And then we also have a bunch of older girls that I think also I think the age also comes into factor where we all have a lot of game experience. Like Paisley Egan has been around for a very long time. Emily Heller, Sarah Falk at Albany, we all have our own experience. And I think that as a unit, we really came together after those first 2 losses. And, we went back to the drawing board and we learned how to work together really well. And I think that we just work really well together, and we're always moving for each other, and we just have so many threats. And I know this statistic because it's written up in everything when we finish games, but I know that we have had a lot of games with 10 or more scorers, and that goes to say a lot about even when we're not playing the best team, even people who don't necessarily start or get a lot of playing time, even they're finding the back of the net because our culture is now being passed on down to them and them moving the ball and getting different scores. So I think that says a lot about the team within itself.
Very cool. Also, you mentioned oh, sorry, just real quick. You mentioned the 10 different goal scorers. I'm a big fan of Madison Waters. There we go. Yeah, she is super fun to watch. So
She is very fun to play with as well.
I like the leg sleeve. I'm a big fan whenever a player wears a leg sleeve. I feel like it just makes them better. I don't know why. It just does. So
she actually had to wear that because she got into a scooter accident and she got like road rash, but it's all healed now. I don't know if she still wears it. But yeah, last year she wore it because of that, but I told her that too. I was like, I think you look cooler. I don't know if she actually told people that that's why she was wearing it, but it's not like a secret, so I think it's okay for me to say that.
yeah.
Yeah, no, she I did like the leg sleeve. I don't even know. I don't think she wears it anymore.
Oh, she doesn't? I thought I just saw her with it on the other day. I must be tripping.
She might have been. I don't know. I think also AstroTurf, everyone tries to wear leg stuff because when you fall, it really, really hurts. I am kind of torn up myself because I was on the ground a lot in that game, but yeah, no, it's really not fun falling on that turf.
I feel like you're always on the ground a lot. Your jersey's always dirty.
Yeah, did you see it before the JMU game?
Yeah.
From warm-ups, it was. I actually have an old Skywalker's teammate on JMU on defense, number 24, Lizzie Piercino, and I mean her twin also. But Lizzie asked me, she was like, "Do you like wash your uniform, or is that like a superstition thing?" I was like, "Yes, I washed my uniform. It was raining all morning, and I tripped in warm-ups, and now it's dirty. I can't help it." But yeah, that was funny. No, yeah, I'm on the ground a lot. Don't know why. I think I'm just like kind of lanky and not the most athletic, which is surprising to say, but yeah.
Can you imagine if you're like, no, actually, I don't wash my uniform. Starting game 1, it doesn't get washed until the end of the year.
I want to know what she would have said.
Honestly, great.
I think she would have smelled it.
Yeah, literally, like probably no one would defend you. They'd be like, "God, get me away from this girl. She reeks."
Yeah, probably.
I was gonna say that I think that part of the reason you're probably in the Final Four is because teams with that many people they can depend on are so hard to defend. Like that you can have people come off a bench and score goals is like, and step up in big games is like so impressive and something that probably is gonna help you guys.
Gianna Monaco. All the pretty girls walk like this. Go check out that clip on our Instagram, okay?
Yeah, that was so awesome. I didn't even see it because I was the one who caught the ball from her, and then I turned away. And then she was like, yeah, I fell. I was like, I didn't even see it. And then I saw your clip, and I was cracking up. It was so funny.
Yeah, I think it's over 100,000 views right now. It might be higher. It's been amazing. So
that is really funny, yeah. But no, I think it's really awesome because also, like, during our championship JMU game, they, early, right off the bat, they face guarded me, and we scored 3 really, really quick goals and immediately dropped out of it because there are so many scorers. They were setting too much focus on me and to Danielle, and I believe even Emily Heller were getting a lot of attention. And 3 people who I guess aren't necessarily the big scorers on our team easily put it in the back of the net. And I think that just having that many threats on offense just kind of like, it's really difficult to defend in my opinion.
Oh, absolutely. Because also like that's their whole game plan. Their whole game plan was like, okay, we're gonna face guard Maggie, and then these 2 girls are gonna have like, like that like pressure where you're gonna step up to them, you're gonna try to deny them the ball, blah blah blah, and then in 10 minutes when that goes away, like now you're on game plan number 2 that you practiced probably like maybe right before the game for 30 minutes, and now that's all ready. So like I think that's a huge strength.
Oh yeah.
Could you speak a little bit about the changes that this team made after your 10-19 loss against UNC? Yeah, that was like your last loss basically of the season. So like what kind of sparked in you guys after that?
I think that it was just kind of a pride thing. We knew we were not that team. We knew that we were better than that. And, our coaches, they went back to the drawing board, wrote up some new plays, and kind of just put a lot of trust in us to kind of understand what was going on. I think because, oh my gosh, that week after our UNC loss, we probably did about 30 different cutting and assisting drills. Which was, I mean, I loved it because I just sit back there and feed, so I wasn't really getting hit, but a lot of my teammates are getting hit a lot that week. Just working on moving the ball, because in those first 2 games, I think we had a total of 3 assists. And just in the Maryland game alone, we had 5. So we had already beat our 2 games in assists in that one game. And I think that was like what started clicking, is we started moving the ball better, because before it was a lot of 1v1 dodges, because we knew it was a man-to-man defense for both teams. And we were like, okay, yeah, we'll ISO this person, let them drive. And that wasn't working because they were then setting early slides, and then we weren't moving the ball as well. So we really worked on those, pass off, like everything like that, assists, and just really moving the ball. And I think that was what kind of like started clicking, and we just started being selfless and, not really worrying about our individual stats and everything like that, and just like going. And it really worked, and we kind of haven't looked back since.
Good for your coaches too, for being able to kind of adapt and go back. Because a lot of coaches will be like, no, you're not doing it right. You're not doing it right. That's why it's not working. You're not doing it right. And like, I'm sure partly you weren't doing it right, but then also like, what do we need to focus on? Like, it's not just that like they're not dodging or they're not dodging hard enough. Like, what do we need to, like, breaking it down farther and trying to figure out like they're not dodging, they're not moving the ball fast enough. They need to do this. Like, let's focus on this more. I guess like a lot, that's obviously a coach's job, but I feel like a lot of them can get stuck in like what they think works, what happens, and then they like fail to find those like smaller things to work on. So good for them too, for kind of like taking a step back and figuring it out with you guys.
Yeah, no, I definitely think our coaches are awesome. I absolutely adore Nicole, and I trust her so much. So whatever she says, I'm kind of like, okay, sure. Where do you want me?
Yeah.
Nicole Levy has been a follower of Lacrosse Extras for a very long time. So shout out to Nicole Levy.
Yeah, Nicole's the best. Love her.
Yes. Also, just before my next question, I have pulled up the stats. The Gianna Monaco video has 186,000 plays, and it's been watched for a total time of 242 hours, 56 minutes, and 7 seconds, which is insane. And it has more than 8,000 likes, which is insane. So.
Oh my God.
She's famous.
I don't know if she's embarrassed or probably really happy about that.
Well, so she follows Lacrosse Extras, and so whenever you like if someone actually we follow her too. So it like said seen by Gianna Monaco because we tagged her. She never responded, so I don't know how she feels about it. But Gianna, I hope you enjoy the video. Okay, I hope you enjoy it.
No, and it was so funny because directly after the game, it gets posted on ESPN Plus or whatever, and she went and watched it, and she sent the clip to our strength and conditioning coach, Tracy Zimmer, because she right before the season we were doing like these extra workouts and stuff, and for some reason we didn't know why, but I guess it came in handy. We were doing like literal somersaults into sprints, and it came in handy because she had to use it, and yeah, Tracy was very happy about it. It was so funny.
She was smooth with it.
Yeah, no, we practiced.
I'd have to take myself out of that drill. I'd be like, I can't do a somersault. I'm gonna break my neck.
Yeah, Emily Heller was not the best at those. Yeah. She kind of like went sideways, so we would always kind of make fun of her when we had to do those.
Yeah, I'd be like, anything to not go on my neck. I don't know doing that.
Yeah, no, it was a little hard too because we were doing it on AstroTurf. Because in our room we have AstroTurf.
I'd be like, no.
Yeah, we weren't happy about it in the moment. We all kind of were like, what are we doing? But it comes in handy because you know what? I'm on the ground a lot. She had to do a somersault, getting back up from it. It came in handy, I guess.
Was it worth it? I don't know. Those seconds. I think I'd take those seconds.
Over 8,000 likes. It was worth it.
Yeah, just for the comedic relief, I guess. That's fair.
That's awesome. Okay, so the Final Four is only days away. What's today? Sunday. We're recording this on Sunday. It'll release on Tuesday, and your game is on Thursday?
Friday.
Okay. Friday o'clock. Okay, it's coming up. What are your feelings, your thoughts, your emotions, everything?
Oh my gosh. Well, Starters, I'm excited because we have never been past Elite Eight. We've fallen short at Elite Eight twice, second round once. So, getting past that kind of speed bump, really a big moment for us seniors that have, not made it this far ever. And, the program even only once before in 2012. So I think that we were just so thrilled. And, we had the assumption we were going to be playing Northwestern. We all knew that. And we all kind of came in thinking like, okay, they're beatable. It's not like they haven't lost to anyone. Like, my comparison is just like 2022 UNC. They went the entire year without being beaten. They went completely undefeated, won the national championship. That year, everyone looked at them as like, oh my God, like no one's going to beat them. They're so good, all this stuff. And yeah, Northwestern is an amazing team, but they are beatable. It's not that they aren't. So we're not necessarily scared. I mean, personally, I'm nervous, but I get nervous for every game. It's just there's a lot riding on it now. It's do or die. You don't have a second chance. And, it's the biggest stage that we get as lacrosse players. So I think that, yeah, I'm nervous. Am I scared? No, I don't.
Hell no. Nah. Say it again. Hell no. Nah.
Yeah, no, I would not say that I'm scared, but I am extremely excited to be in that position because I think that our team is playing our best lacrosse at just the right time. And Reggie Thorpe, our defensive coach, is constantly saying that we are playing championship lacrosse at the perfect time. We peaked at the right time. And, I think we're coming in with a lot of confidence and a lot of pride and just a lot of positivity almost and energy. And we're just like a completely different team than those first two losses. We are loving what we're doing right now. And I think that that's the biggest part of this weekend. And, I think that hopefully we can come out with the win. I'm not going to say we're going to win for sure, obviously, because you don't know what's going to happen.
Hey, Ruth, call your shot. I'm just playing.
I am genuinely very excited for this weekend. Yeah.
Sorry, my energy level just went up a little bit because we're talking about Final Four. It's amazing. So also, I totally agree. Like you said, everyone is beatable. That's been the crazy thing about this year. Everyone has beaten everyone, which has been super exciting from a fan's perspective. And then also like going to the Final Four, it's the biggest stage, like you said, that you can get in our sport. Carson, will you just be there for the championship or will you be there on Friday as well?
No, I'll only be there on is my Wi-Fi glitching? It might be. I'll only be there for the championship.
Okay. Well,
yeah, I'll only be there for the championship.
We'll probably be there.
Awesome. So another question I have for you. You're a Friends fan, I'm guessing.
Yeah, well, how'd you know that?
Will your lobster be at the game?
Oh, my Instagram.
I do my research. Okay.
Yes, he will be. And he's been okay. So he plays lacrosse as well. I'm not going to say that he plays for a specific team right now because he's in the transfer portal. So anyone men's lacrosse listening, if you want to go check out Julian Bazinski. But yeah, so his season's over and he's been home for a while. And he's come to every single game that he's been able to. He actually surprised me for my senior night or my senior day game at Temple versus Temple. He came to Loyola. He's been extremely supportive throughout the entire year. And yeah, so he'll be here or he'll be there. His parents actually got a hotel room and what's it called? Cary. To
small town.
Yeah. They got a hotel room so that they could be there. And they already bought 4 days, so they are already guessing that we're gonna win.
Oh God, bold.
Yeah,
push the chips to the table. We're all in, baby.
Yeah, no, they are so supportive and they're so adorable. But he will be there in full Gator gear.
So if you have not seen Maggi Hall's Instagram, she has a post, at least one. where she refers to her boyfriend as her lobster, which is a reference from Phoebe from Friends. So that's where that question came from. I was waiting to ask that one. I was waiting for the perfect time. I'm sorry. I had to get it
in. Because he's not, but he knew that I was, and he understood the reference, apparently. I don't know how he knew that because he's never watched the show. He's watched a few episodes. We're about to start that when I get home. I'm going to make him watch every single episode. But yeah, no, he saw it in, I don't know what store he got it from, but he saw it and it was like immediately thought of it and was like, Friends, she would love it, and got it for me for Valentine's.
Cool.
The like sheer panic in your voice when you were like, how do you know that? how do you know that? How do you know that?
I was like, wait, what? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've been texting him. Okay, don't worry about it. I'm just joking.
Is he about to come on? What's going on?
Yeah.
And our surprise guest. No, just kidding.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, going back to Northwestern and how they are a beatable team. What, and you don't have to answer this if it's too scouty report, so you can give me a general. But like, what strengths do you feel like you guys have to like for your upcoming matchup against Northwestern? Like, what kind of skill sets do you think will match that well for you guys to come out on top?
I think that defensively we're pretty good 1v1. We've got some pretty strong 1v1 defenders to kind of match up with their good 1v1 attackers. And yeah, I think we just move the ball really well, which they play a high pressure zone. We faced that against Virginia. It's not going to be the first time. And at least against Virginia, we did not have any prep for what we saw because we thought that their zone was going to be more laid back. And it was not at all. It was definitely very stressful. I mean, I did not play my best game that day because of that high pressure zone. But at least now we have time to prepare for something along the lines of that. So I think that that's pretty good for us. But yeah, no, I mean, we have been taking some time off, to rest our bodies since that Maryland game was pretty rough on a lot of us. So we haven't necessarily done a ton of scout so far. But that's just my personal opinion. I think that the way our offense moves is pretty good for their defense. And I think our draw team is going to do pretty good. I think they're going to do really well coming up this weekend. At least I really hope they do, because I think that is how we've been also winning a lot of games is, Liz just killing it on the draw. The Hellers, everyone that's on the draw, Paisley, Sarah, they're all extremely fast. They watch a lot of film. I swear they do so much more work than everyone else. They do so much for just that one position, and I think that that's a big strength of ours is our draw controls.
I said it before on this podcast, but my high school coach growing up used to say 3 things win you a lacrosse game. He was like an older man. He was so cute. He'd be like, ground balls, draw controls, and quality possessions. You win those 3, you win the game. And I have like literally never forgotten it. And I always, so every time someone's like draws, I'm like, yes, that's in the 3. That counts. But I also think that the high pressure zone, I agree with you. I feel like you guys will play well against that, especially since you've seen it before, because it won't be as threatening. And I feel like once you can slow down a high pressure zone in your head, like the options become so much more open, and you guys are so good at like finding the extra person that I feel like if you just have that time to like slow it down, that'll work really well for you guys too. Once you said that, I was like, oh yeah, that's a good one.
So you mentioned that y'all are taking some time off. Is anything, it's obviously an interesting time of year right now because school is over, and so it's just lacrosse. Sorry, my dog. So it's just lacrosse. What is the schedule this week? What is the practice schedule? Is it the same as normal? When are y'all flying out to Cary? What does that all look like?
Yeah, so our schedule is very much different than what it usually is. We've never taken this much time between games, but also we have over a week to prepare, or we had a week and a day to prepare for this game. We played Thursday, we wouldn't play until Friday. So I can understand why our coaches are giving us this opportunity. They want us to be able to, be at our peak physically, which I honestly very appreciate because I was not feeling good after that Maryland game. I was in a lot of pain, and I know a lot of other people were, because that turf is so unforgiving. You you don't even have to fall to feel it. Your joints just hurt. It's just such a hard surface. So appreciating them letting us have that off, that time to, you know, recover and take care of our bodies. And our staff has been amazing. You know, we have a spa day where we do contrast and cold tanks and basically whatever you need. We get massages, which is awesome. And I love that here. But yeah, no, our staff has been amazing with that. And we had film today and we had our spa day today. And that was this morning. And then tomorrow, I think everything's pushed back. Usually we practice 8 to 10. Right now we get to sleep in a little bit more, which is amazing. I love sleeping in. I'm so not an early bird. It is ridiculous. You can literally ask anybody. I hate waking up early.
Retirement will treat you well then.
Yeah. Yes, it will. And so yeah, no, I am enjoying our new schedule. Although we are going to be practicing more in the heat of everything. You know, it's really hot in Florida. So that is probably the only unfortunate thing about us, you know, our coaches letting us sleep in a little bit. But yeah, so everything's a little pushed back since no one really has classes, which some people like, some people don't like. You kind of can't make everyone happy with it. But it's definitely, they're just trying to give us a lot of time to recover. And I think sleeping in also helps people recover a little bit better. And then, you know, we have our usual, we're going to have a lift. And then I think we're leaving Wednesday. I think that's right.
You gotta know this. You can't be missing the flight now.
I can tell you. It's like one of my screensavers. Yeah, we practice, and then we'll leave on Wednesday. I am unsure if we are chartering or commercial flying.
Come on, Amanda O'Leary. Better get that charter.
It's not Amanda's. We actually did not. We chartered for the first and second rounds, and then we commercial flew for Maryland because the NCAA was like, there's an available flight that we can get everyone on, which was unfortunate because I'm pretty sure, well, I'm not pretty sure. I got sick from that being in the airport, which was lovely. I got a cold, but it's fine. I'm feeling better now. But yeah, so it's just unfortunate if we do have to commercial, but you know what? I'm grateful that we get to go. So I don't really care how we get there.
I was going to say, if it makes you feel any better about yourself, I didn't realize that college programs chartered anywhere until I started going to school at UNC, because I went to Drexel, which was like mid-range D1, and I didn't realize that. First of all, I barely knew people flew places, and then to find out that there were charter planes going on that the people were on, I was like, wait a minute, I missed out. What is this? So it makes you feel better. There's a lot of programs out there who don't get to charter places. So
100%. My lobster, my boyfriend's they don't fly. His first flight was to come visit me for my senior day. He has never flown before. Like, he's a junior, and yeah, they don't fly. They bus everywhere. Like, I think this year he did like an 8 or 9 hour drive, which was just ridiculous.
We drove to Elon, North Carolina, from Philly, from Philadelphia.
You gotta expand the budget.
The only time I ever flew on a plane was to freaking California. Like, I drove to Elon. I think that was probably the farthest.
How far is that? Like, that's got to be like 10 at least.
9 or 10, yeah, I think.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, when I tell you, like, and they were in our conference. That's a conference game. When I tell you, anyway, so some people have it a little rougher, okay?
Yeah, no, we are definitely spoiled here.
Now, we weren't in a Final Four, so like, it's you give and take, you know, like, I can't really be mad because we also was winning. We weren't winning a game in the NCAA tournament, so like, but just to point out those lesser than we did not grow with Elon.
It's so funny hearing us talk about it because like I think it was my boyfriend's parents who were like, are you actually complaining about doing your commercial flight? I was like, am I?
Yeah, God forbid you have to drive to North Carolina. Are you postal?
I was like, this is not a good look. I'm sorry. I'm
okay. It's only before I give them. It's only 6.5. It's not 9.
Oh, keep it on the bus. You gotta stop.
The bathroom line's getting backed up.
Yeah.
God, no, I would
Also,
not. One, I think.
It would be super cool if like fans were flying to Cary for the game and they were on the same flight as you. That would be so sick. Although, if I had to sit across from Emily Heller, I would be very intimidated because she has a mean mug. Okay, I'd be very intimidated.
Yeah.
Great player, but a little scary.
She is so sweet, though. She's intimidating to everyone who doesn't know her. She honestly is really, really sweet, so nice. And honestly, like a close friend of mine, I would say. I would hope she would say the same, but like she's someone that I would like say that I can't imagine not talking to her after I leave here. So
Very
yeah, no,
cool.
she definitely is intimidating to everyone who doesn't know her. And it's really funny.
Also, one last thing for me, you mentioned practicing in the heat. That could honestly, if however y'all play it with the breaks and stuff, that could be an advantage because Northwestern can't be nearly as hot in Chicago as it is in Gainesville. So that could be an advantage, especially. I mean, Northwestern's offense, sometimes they can go at a very, very high pace. So that could be an advantage. So.
No, and I think that if we possess the ball a lot, I think that it could also be our advantage with their defense tiring out with their high pressure zone. So I think that definitely when heat becomes a factor in these later months of the season, I think that's definitely a pro in our category. Because I feel like I've been accustomed to the heat now for 4 years, so I feel like it's not necessarily that big of an issue. And our coaches every single day, every day, are like, drink water, put salts in your water. You know, we have element T and all these things, or element, however you actually pronounce it. I don't know. We call it element T. But that's what was in here. It's gone. It was salted water for hydration because they have not stopped talking about making sure we're hydrated. And yeah, I do not play good when I am not hydrated. So
Very cool. Very cool.
Last thing, just kind of like as a general, I feel like you've probably touched on this bits and pieces throughout the whole podcast. What do you think this year's Florida team has that's different than other years? Like, what do you think is about this team that makes it special?
Yeah, I think that the fact that everyone is bought in to what we're trying to accomplish here is really big and really special. In previous years, you know, once you start getting to those later months, some people just want to go home. And from top to bottom of the roster, every single person on this team is bought into, you know, we want to win. We've made it this far. There's, you know, nothing that we'd rather be doing. And at least from what I've been hearing from everyone, that's how, you know, that's kind of how the conversation is going right now. And I just think that the way we're moving the ball, how many threats there are, all of that combined with us all being locked in on that one specific goal, bringing home that national championship trophy, is what is, I think, making us such a threat in this tournament. And some people might not consider us a threat. You know, we're the unseeded team. All these other schools that are in it are these powerhouses that have been there. You know, BC, 7 consecutive. Amazing program. But I think that at some point you have to look at Florida as like maybe even a bigger threat because we don't have anything to lose. You know, we are underdogs in this entire tournament. We were unseeded, and I think that we've kind of proven our point. And now we're just going for that, you know, almost laugh in your face, like you didn't respect us enough to give us a seed. Let's just show them what we can do. Kind of something to prove. We have shirts that say that, STP on the back. I think that that's what we're all coming in here with. It's just like we have something to prove. We want to show everyone that Florida is just as good as the program as any other program out here. And I think that we've already done that, but it's not enough for us, at least.
You know what just came into my head? I'm a psychopath. I was just thinking you guys should get shirts when you win. That's like an ugly like ogre or something stepping on flowers because they were all seated and you weren't, and you crushed them. Anyway, after my creative juices were flowing when you were talking.
Really cool.
Wouldn't that be cool? Because then like, you could have like the little dirt so you could show like the flower with their seeds, and then you were just stepping on all of them because you didn't have a seed.
I mean, yeah, we have been so far, you know,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I'm just
well,
saying that there's
Also,
I don't know if it's that, but there could be something there. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
I did pick you guys to beat Maryland. I have the text message to prove it. Okay. So,
Did you really?
He did.
yes.
I can confirm.
Yeah, we went into that game pretty confident. I mean, I think that even that first round game against UNC, we were pretty confident because we knew we were not the same team at all from that first game. And I mean, obviously they had injuries, and I don't have an inside scoop because she ain't telling me anything. But I felt like I had almost an inside scoop because we had no idea we were playing each other in that tournament. No idea. And we have had conversations during the season about, what's been going on with each of us and stuff like that. So, like, I had known some things that I probably shouldn't have known because we just never would have guessed in a million years that we would have been playing against each other in the NCAA tournament. So I think that was kind of funny. But
I don't think she thinks so.
no, she has had her time, and she was happy for me. My parents were happy for me. It was just, there was no winning in that game. I have a picture to prove it. I was bawling my eyes out. She was bawling. Both of my parents were crying. It was really emotional for all of us because no matter what, it was one of our last games. But she had an amazing career. National champion. I think they won 3 ACC titles while she was there, maybe 4. I mean, she's sixth year, so she's won a lot. She's had a lot. It was not her time anymore. It was Gator time. It was our time to win, and I think that it just said a lot about our growth. We got beat by 9, and then we ended up beating them by 9. So it was a huge moment for us to kind of have that full realization of, like, we are not the same team. Get those first 2 losses completely out of our heads because that was not us. This is us. This 9 goal victory. I don't actually know what the final score was, but whatever we won, whatever the score was, like, that was our new team. That was our new kind of mindset of, like, we are good enough to be here. This is our tournament. This is our year, basically. And I think that we kind of proved that in the last 3 games.
Yeah. Well, I hope you make the championship because I'll be there. I don't think I'm Final Four, but.
Oh, geez.
So just 2 last things for me. So I annoy Carson with this because I could talk forever. We all have our faults. Okay, I'm sorry. You mentioned that everyone in the championship or in the Final Four, they're all like big names, and they've all been there before. So how do you prepare yourself, especially going against an offense like Northwestern, because they're going to go on a run at some point. They're probably going to go on 2 or 3. How do you prepare yourself to stay in the game when they score 3 or 4 in a row?
Yeah, no. Obviously, that's definitely the downfall of our sport is that no matter what, every team's going to go on a run. It's really hard to keep a team from going on a run. And I think that that's just going to come down to our mindsets and how we just can't let it get to us, I guess, is probably like the biggest part of it. Is just like we're going to go on our runs too, and that's going to boost our confidence, and we can't get too high and we can't get too low. You know what I'm saying? Is like and Reggie always says it, Nicole always says it, Mandy, Espo, they always say it. Every team is going to go on a run. We just have to limit that run to 2 or 3 and not 5 or 6. And that's kind of our mindset. It's just like, okay, yeah, they scored. They might score 2. We can't let them have any more than that. And I think that will be kind of the difference in that game is if someone goes down by 3 or 4, not letting it get too serious and like telling in your head, I guess. I don't know.
Very cool. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I'm super interested to see how the Gator fans show up to carry North Carolina because obviously we know BC is going to show up in their neon. I'm not sure. I feel like Syracuse, they travel pretty well. Northwestern, I mean, I interviewed Izzy's mom and Aaron's mom. They're at every single game. So I'm interested to see how Florida shows up, especially because it's the first time since I believe 2012.
Yes.
And so many incredible players have come through the Florida program. We mentioned Ron Beck. You have Kavanaugh. You have the Parecas. I mean, so many players have come through the Florida program, and none of them that I just mentioned have done what y'all have done, and that's make it to a Final Four. So I hope they all show up.
Yeah, actually, A few of them messaged me. I can tell you right now specifically. Kitty Cullen, she messaged me. A lot of them are coming to the game. She didn't specifically say that she was coming, but she messaged me. Who else? A few of them.
Should be good.
Libby May's older sister, not Katie. I know Katie really well. Sorry. But yeah, Caroline May. A lot of them are coming. And yeah, they're just super supportive, and all of them reposted that we made it to the Final Four. You know, alums were proud, or they're proud. I'm not an alum yet. I don't want to be. But yeah, no, they're super supportive, and I don't know if they're gonna match. I don't know what they would wear. They probably didn't necessarily think that we were going to make it. I mean, I feel like they had their suspicions because we still talk to a lot of them, but you know, you never know until you know. So I don't know what they would show up in, but it would be funny if they showed up in all matching stuff because wow, that would be real. I don't even know what my reaction would be.
Very cool. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking time to come on the podcast. We are super excited for this week. Not as excited as you are, but super excited to watch you and the rest of the teams go at it with a national championship on the line. So thank you very much.
Thank you. No, I had a great time.
Thank you for listening. Did you enjoy this episode of The Player and the Journalist? If so, please leave us a review and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts to help the show reach new fans.